Now let's talk about the O-rings of the press fitting system. The O-ring is located in the dedicated toroidal seat, in part deputed to the hydraulic seal. The basic O-ring of the press fitting system is the one made of EPDM material. Black color, valid for both stainless steel fittings, such as for drinking water, which for carbon steel fittings, for example for heating. The EPDM O-ring can be used for a range of temperatures ranging from -20 degrees to +120 degrees Celsius. If I need a resistance to higher temperatures, I have to use red or green FPM O-ring. To deepen the differences between the red and green O-rings, we invite you see the Eurotubi technical manual. Now let's talk about yellow O-rings. Yellow is the color reserved for gas applications. In fact, it is found in the special inox gas fittings. In addition to having the yellow HBNR O-ring, these fittings are characterized by the special DVGW label, anti-tampering, and from the sleeve film, in yellow. The EPDM O-ring cannot be used with gases, because in the long run the gas would damage the EPDM compound. The yellow HBNR, or to resist gas, it is more impermeable to all aeriform mediums. Another very important thing, the yellow and black O-rings have compatible shapes, but they cannot be interchanged for this. The operation is strictly forbidden, under penalty of loss of any form of guarantee and approval. So if I want to use the gas press fitting system, I have to use only the stainless steel fittings, marked DVGW gas, with the yellow O-ring in HBNR, and with the yellow sleeve. Also, to identify the type of fittings more easily, Eurotubi has chosen to equip its fittings with the sleeve-colored film. Here, we have the yellow sleeve for the gas. Here red for the carbon steel range. And finally, blue for stainless steel. Now let's talk about double security. Sleeve plus, leaking O-ring with constant section. What Eurotubi has developed and patented to help the installer during the construction of the plant. For all diameters up to 54, we have developed an exclusive model of leaking O-ring. Leaking O-ring means that, when the fitting has not been pressed, it loses conspicuously. The Eurotubi leaking O-ring has an exclusive polygonal toroidal shape. We have a multitude of sides with a constant section. You see it by making a cut. The section is always completely round. So, unlike some competitors' O-rings, with Eurotubi I do not have a lack of material only in some points, but divided on all the O-ring. We have solved the problem by creating this polygon. The Eurotubi leaking function is tested and approved DVGW. The O-ring is leaking, or also called leak before press. Losing when not pressed allows the installer, when performing the pressure test, check by dripping, if there is a fitting that has not been pressed. This is the first security. The second security of Eurotubi press fittings is sleeve, which is torn during the press. In the unpressed fitting, it remains intact, but when the fitting is pressed, this colored film is torn. In this way we can see, even from a distance, a fitting that no longer has its film, which has therefore been pressed. Maybe a small drop from far away is not seen, but the presence or absence of the film can also be seen well from a distance. This is therefore the double Eurotubi safety for the installer. The O-ring of the fitting to be pressed is always a component of the fitting and of the whole system. The tolerances and the dimensions of the O-ring are chosen according to the fitting, with all its tolerances, the tolerances of the press-fitting tube, the tolerances of the O-ring chamber, and finally, the tolerances of the O-ring itself. For this reason, the O-ring cannot be taken from another manufacturer, but must be original Eurotubi.